Supergirl number 15, written by Steve Orlando and Jodie Hauser, who is joining at least for the next few issues, starting with this one. I don't know if it's permanent.
That might make me go back and pick it up if it's permanent.
Well, Robson Roke is on art.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought in this is that I love this issue. You read it, Matt. Go on. How do you feel?
Yeah, I didn't know if you were going to add anything else. I thought it was fine. It was a little bit of a... It was fine. Like, it wasn't bad, but I felt it was just choppy. You can feel like it's a transitional issue. Like,
see, that's the weird thing about you saying it's choppy, is I actually think this is the best paced the book has ever been. I think it's better than most of the issues we've had so far.
I don't know. I like the early stuff a little bit more, I think.
I think the characters, the voices are better. I got a sense of what Supergirl was feeling throughout this.
Yeah,
because
that's fine.
Because she's having to hide her identity. Well, obviously she's already hiding her identity, but she's in proper lockdown mode because the DEO are actually trying to hunt her, and they know she's got a secret identity, so they're trying to find her.
Right.
And
she has to be super careful and all that.
Yeah.
And I liked all that.
So there's a lot of stuff with her, like talking about what she's doing when she's at Catco, what she's doing at school, and Ben's like kind of wanting to ask her to the dance, but he can't quite work it up to work up the nerve to ask her. And there's so much stuff that it was feeling like very internal monologue, and I was like, it was just flowing much better to me than it has been. Like I felt like it was really hitting a pace and a character tone that I was really getting into. I'm down for this. I hope Jodie Hauser sticks around. If this is the influence she's having on this book, I'm so down for this.
I felt like, again, it's hard to say to defend the choppy because it worked so seamlessly for you, but I just felt like it was bouncing all over, and I think maybe if it was just Hauser without Orlando, it might have flowed a little bit easier for me, but it just felt like there were elements going on.
Maybe they're transitioning. Maybe like
that's what I was going to say. You know how we got like Batwoman, the first arc had Tynion co-writing. If this is kind of that with Hauser, if it comes that she's getting it on her own, I will be going back and checking it out.
Because I liked what I read, like the stuff with Director Bones and Dr. Veritas and all that. I liked all that. I liked the stuff with Kara and her mom and dad.
All that stuff.
They had to quit DEO because they didn't want to work for Bones.
Yeah, all this stuff was hitting for me. I like at the start you got Bones who's like repurposing various things. Making Dr. Veritas make weapons and stuff to detect Supergirl, and he's pissed at her because he knows she knows more about her than she's letting on. So he's pissed about that. And like so you've got this whole manhunt thing. You've got like a DEO agent at school like calling her out of class to like, because I mean she's interviewing everyone, but she's specifically interviewing her, and like she hears someone in trouble. She hears like an accident's happened further away, and she can't go because it'll look suspicious. So she has to stay there and kind of just deal with it. And I don't know, I was digging it all. I'm digging the teen kind of angst of it all. It was reminding me a little bit of being Super at times almost with her.
Yeah.
In a room, kind of. Which reminds me, did you notice the poster in her room, Matt?
I feel like I did, but remind me.
It was.
I've read a lot of comics since I read this one.
It was Diana's book from Rucka's first run.
That's right.
Reflections.
That's right.
There was a poster of that on the wall. I thought that was a weird but nice touch.
Yep.
Made me smile. I'll say that much. I'm liking the supporting cast development. I'm like Ben's starting to become really likable. There's this other girl who's into him that keeps kind of one-upping Kara like in class and stuff. And it was kind of fleshing this stuff out a little bit more. And I feel like I'm really getting between the parents and like Ben at school, I feel like I'm getting a sense of who these characters are. I'm loving Bones as being this antagonist. I like Bones anyway, but like it's filling all that out for me. And then obviously there's the tease at the end of who the villain's going to be for this arc, which is pretty cool. So Bones mentions, repurpose this stuff, and he mentions like a number of project, and she's like, Sharon Vance? And then the end of the book, the cliffhanger, is out in the park, basically Sharon Vance, or I should say Strange Visitor, who originally was a combination of Sharon Vance and Kismet, appears. Basically she looks like Superwoman does, but blue. She's like the blue version of Superwoman in appearance.
So who is this Sharon Vance? Because I feel like I should know, but I don't. Like, it's not ringing a bell.
I don't know a whole bunch about it. She basically, Kismet is this like alien like protector of worlds kind of thing. But she was in a plane with Sharon Vance, and they got struck by lightning, and it merged them, kind of like Superman Blue Red, and she became the Strange Visitor, who was like a villain for a while.
Okay.
I think I've read like one story with Strange Visitor in it.
Look at that. That's continuity wonk, not picking up on something.
No.
I mean, I did.
This is the first time she's been used since I've been reading comics.
Oh, it's been a while. I did a little bit of research for this, by the way. I didn't just know all this. Just full disclosure.
Oh, okay.
Nah, that's cheating. It's fine. Matt always comes up with stuff just off the top of his head. He just knows his stuff. You don't.
Look, part of the fun of comics.
I knew you had been reading like Peter David's Supergirl, so I thought maybe
this
had some of that.
She's not popped up in that. At least not yet. Anyway, she might.
Okay.
Part of the fun of comics though is they'll throw in like some obscure character that they like. You can tell that some people will know who this is, so you go and look them up, and you're like, "Oh, who's this? I want to know who this is."
Well, I was like, Sharon Vance isn't Livewire's name, so this is weird.
Oh yeah, it's not Livewire.
Yeah, I just thought Electricity and Superman. I was like,
I'm sure.
Why is she wearing the electric blue suit? This is weird.
No, because I seen her at the end of the book, and I'm like, who the hell is this? And I went looking. But no.
Gotcha.
I've heard the name though, when she said the name of the issue before, I'm like, or the page before, I'm like, Sharon Vance sounds familiar. So I think I've heard of this character.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of her, and she looks familiar. So, but then again, I don't know if that's just like Superwoman's outfit playing tricks in my mind.
Yeah.
Because she looks like a blue version of Superwoman.
No, I just pulled her up, and it's the electric blue suit.
Yeah.
From back in the day too. So.
Yeah. Aye, so she's super 90s basically. This is kind of what we're getting at. But no, I dug this issue a lot. I wasn't like, I remember liking the last issue a lot as well, but I came into this like kind of like, yeah, I'm Supergirl, I enjoy Supergirl. But then I was like, by the time I got to like halfway through, I'm like, yeah, I'm really enjoying this. This is really finding a tone for me this month. So no, I recommend it. If you dropped Supergirl before now, I would maybe even suggest this is a good one, because it does a good job of recapping things. I think. It sets the stage. It's like, okay, this is everything that's kind of happened. This is where we are now. I feel this is a good jumping on issue if you wanted to jump in here.
If Hauser comes on as the sole writer, I'll go back from here.
She's definitely on the next two issues as per the solicitors. How permanent it is, I don't know, but
cool.
So, but I'm glad about that because I really like this issue a lot.